Hey guys, Monkey DKS here, and today we're going to take a look at Minecart Station based around the upcoming Lectern in Minecraft 1.14. If you're unfamiliar with how this new Lectern works, you take a book and quill, write some things in it, right-click to place it on the Lectern, and it holds the book open for you and others to read. The Lectern will remember what page was showing, and multiple people can read the same book at the same time. What's really neat, however, is that if you place a comparator behind the Lectern, it will also give off a redstone signal whose strength will depend on how close you are to the end of a book. Since there are 15 levels of redstone strength, using a book with 15 pages makes it really easy to make a 15 destination minecart station, with a whole page available to describe your destination. Like this example station. Here we have 15 tunnels on the sides of the room, with tracks that lead to different destinations, and one tunnel that handles incoming traffic to this station. At the far end, we have our track selector book on the Lectern already filled out with 15 pages. Each page has a different destination listed. For this example, they're only colors, but in a real world they would be things like stronghold, mining desert, iron farm, someone else's base, things like that. It's super simple to operate. Just turn the page with the destination you want, orange in this case, and as you can see, the light turns on for that tunnel, and the track is switched for you to travel in that direction. Now it's a simple matter of stepping on the pressure plate, hopping in the cart, and pressing the button, and off we go down the orange track. As we get outside, we're now on the return track, so pretend we're coming into this station from another one. When we re-enter the station, we pass over an activator rail, and we're automatically ejected out of the minecart, and we can walk up and select another destination, or leave. Super simple. The cart will get put back in the dispenser, although on some multiplayer servers, it's hard to keep cart stations stocked. So there's a chest here with a backward stair block on top of it to allow people to manually refill the carts as well. But how does this all work? Let's take a look at the circuit that runs the whole thing. I'm not going to lie to you, this was the first thing I thought of when I saw the Lectern's functionality, but I had no ideas on how to make the circuit compact. Luckily, I waited long enough that Assumer came up with it for me. I'll give a brief description, but if you really want to know how it works, a link to his video is in the description. We already know that the comparator on the back of the Lectern is putting out a signal that gets stronger the closer we get to the end of a book. Over here is another comparator, set to subtraction mode, that's always powered by this redstone block. And behind this is a simple comparator extension that will keep the power level until we get to this end. So based on the strength fed into the side of this comparator, we're sending signal strength 1 through 15 this way, and 15 through 1 this way. That leaves only a single redstone dust unpowered, which allows the torch to be powered. Super clever. The main rectangle is 15 blocks by 4 blocks, with 7 comparators, 1 set to subtraction mode, 23 redstone dust, a redstone block, and a Lectern with a book. You may also notice that the comparator works through another block and doesn't have to be touching the Lectern directly. That way, you can hide the comparator behind a wall. The possibilities for this one circuit are endless. Thanks, Asuma. But how does this become a station? Let's move over to a simplified, open version of the station for you to take a look at. As you can see, here, all 15 tracks are laid out in a single row. That's just to make some of the wiring easier to follow. Same Lectern at one end, and the return line is on this end. There's an activator rail to eject the player, and then a cart return track that will eventually bring the cart to break itself on the cactus and return to the dispenser. We have the same Asuma circuit behind the glass, but the torches are on both sides of that redstone line. I did that so it was easier to run power to the track switcher torches without the redstone connecting. I have these 15 lines here as compact as I could make them, and still have them easily visible for this showcase video. Don't be too overwhelmed by the colors. It's just one redstone line from each torch here to a torch on the block that switches the track above it. Then we put a repeater in behind the torch and power this other torch for the redstone lamp, which is of course optional. That's all you need to make this whole station work. I would highly recommend designing how you want the station to look to the people riding it. And once you do that, how you get the signal from one torch to the other really doesn't matter. It just depends on how much space you have under your station. In reality, you could run these lines anywhere you want. On this side, for example, the tracks naturally turn the other way, so it was a simple matter of adding a torch that would invert the redstone signal to these intersections, and then inverting the lamp torch as well. The wiring can be as big and as messy as you want. No one's ever going to see it. The last part of this build to point out is the cart station itself. Because there was already so much wire everywhere, I went super simple with this. There's a dispenser filled with carts and a pressure plate on the block behind it to dispense the carts. Don't put the plate on the dispenser or the power will go through the dispenser and power the tracks, and you'll have to chase it down to get in. Then we have a simple button, send you on your way. The powered activator rail will eject any player or mob in the cart and keep right on going into a cactus, which breaks it into an entity and drops it in a line of hoppers leading back to the dispenser. I should also mention that if you don't have 15 destinations, you might still want to have a book with 15 pages. If you have less pages, each page will increase the redstone strength faster. You can plan for that, just keep it in mind if you don't have 15 destinations. And that's about it. I should mention, I built this during a live stream on Mixer with the help of Kuya SGA and Koffee. If you like family-friendly stream content, come hang out with us over there. This world will, of course, be available for download, and thanks so much for watching.